So tonight we're going to talk about Taylor Swift, and I know 90% of you don't care because you're men. Most of the people watching my videos are heterosexual men, and you don't care about Taylor Swift. She is an artist for females and homosexuals, and I don't care about Taylor Swift, not because I'm not a female, but because I'm not that much interested in pop music. But you see, tonight I am not going to torture you with 1 hour long talk about Taylor Swift. Ooh, her makeup. Ooh, her boyfriends. Ooh, did you see what she wore? No, that's not what I'm going to do here. Have some faith in me, okay? I'm going to treat you to a full exploration of the machinery behind Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift as a business, and I think you're going to be interested in hearing this. And also, I am going to show you a Scooby-Doo moment that I had, where I realized that not everything is what it seems with her. And I want to tell you exactly how I figured that out. So, okay, let me give you a little bit of context. So, because you're not following Taylor Swift, right? So let me give you a little bit of context. I'm making this video today because she is about to release her newest album. And her newest album is called The Life of a Showgirl. And when I say she's about to release it, I'm not just talking out of my ass. This is the cover of the album. You see, she's wearing like a rhinestone bodice and she's like in a bathtub or something. But the thing is, look at the timer. There's a timer. They slapped a timer underneath the cover, you see, and it's counting down. And this will go live in 5 hours, 7 minutes, and 32 seconds. So her fan base is very excited about this new release of hers. And the reason it's called Life of a Showgirl is because she has been touring the planet for the past 3 years, I think, 2 or 3 years. And it's the craziest tour the music history has ever seen, okay? This woman decided that if she was gonna do a tour, she was not going to do just a random average tour. She was going to blow it all out of proportion. So she decided, most people do a 1 hour concert, but I'm not most people. I'm going to sing 50 songs. I'm going to do a 4 hour concert, and I'm going to sing through the entire thing. You see, 4 hours, that's like a festival. But in festivals, you have like 5 different bands, playing. Not her. She was going to do the whole thing herself. She was going to sing the whole time and dance. And obviously, if you're going to go for a production like this, you're not just going to sing in a normal stage. You're not just going to have fireworks and like something playing on the screen behind you. That's amateur. She got, and I kid you not, a custom-made stage for the show. That she had props that interacted with the floor and the walls of the stage. There's a point in the show where she jumps and dives into the stage, and it looks like she's swimming underneath like the hallway. There's like a hallway, and she's like swimming underneath that. It's like a catwalk. People have an app that they download with their phone, and the phone interacts with both the props, the stage, the lights, and the music. So they can like wave it. People used to use their lighters, but not anymore, because Taylor Swift is not doing an average show. No, she's not. So now she has this insane stage that she has to move all across the world. It's not just her, going places like and tours in the past. You had a band in the past they wanted to tour, you gave them a very comfortable bus. You know what I mean? This woman has to fly with a plane, obviously, but also like an insane amount of trucks so they can fit all of the props, the custom-made stage, all of her dancers and everything all across Europe and the US. So think about this, like the dimensions and the possibilities that everything could go wrong. But that's who we're dealing with here. And so that's why she made this album, Life of a Showgirl, because she somehow, I don't know how, she has made 2 albums during her tour. Not only is she doing 4-hour concerts every night, she also had time to squeeze in some songwriting and producing in the middle of this. I don't know how she manages. Nobody knows. I don't know. Does she have a twin we don't know of? So anyway, this second album is about, it's like a diary of her experience doing these crazy tours. That's why it's called Life of a Showgirl, right? Because she goes like, I understand. She goes like, she dances and she's wearing corsets and it's kind of like a showgirl vibe. And, you know, it's cheeky, it's fun. That's why she gave it this name. And now I want to talk to you, now that you know like what's happening right now and why it is relevant to you and to me that we talk about Taylor Swift tonight. Now I'm going to tell you like why I got interested in Taylor Swift, because this is the same thing that you are going to find interesting as a man. So I wasn't a fan of Taylor Swift. I'm still not a fan of Taylor Swift. I'm not a fan of anybody, but you know, I follow her career with interest since she released an album called 1989. And that was kind of late in her career. But you see, the reason I got interested was because she is somebody who has multiple talents in very disparate domains. And I find that very interesting. What do I mean by this? Well, normally you meet people and you see people and, you know, you watch famous people too. And most people have no talent. They're just average in every way, very bland, very boring. Every once in a while, you stumble upon somebody who has a talent. And you're like, oh my God, this person is so interesting. They are usually talented at one thing. Oh, they're such good dancers. Oh my God, she cooks so well. Oh my God, he is so intelligent. Ooh, he paints so well. You know, it's like a one-trick pony. They have like one domain that they stick to and they're very, very talented at one thing. And those people are interesting. They're more interesting than most people. But you know what's rare? To find somebody who is very talented in many different domains that have very little relation to one another. And that's the case of Taylor Swift. You know, she's very talented in so many different ways. Like, first of all, she has written all of her songs. And I'm convinced she has, like, somebody who's skeptic would say, well, she's a pop artist. You think she writes her own songs? Like, she probably writes like one verse out of every song so that her name can be featured as songwriter, you know, for vanity purposes in her albums. But she doesn't write the songs. She has a team of people doing it. Well, you know what? Most pop artists actually do this, but I don't think Taylor Swift is like that because her output is so consistent. You read the lyrics to a song of hers from 10 years ago and a song of hers written today, and you know that's been written by the same person. Same with the music. There's like a formula to her songs, and they are all similar enough that you know it's the same person writing them. It doesn't happen with, say, Katy Perry. You listen to Katy Perry songs and they're all over the place. Like one album, she's singing one thing, and in another album, she's singing something completely different because it's not her making the songs. But in the case of Taylor Swift, I am convinced she is, in fact, writing the songs. And she can also play multiple instruments. So she's very creative and talented at songwriting. But she's also a great performer. I've seen recordings of her live performances, and she is a beast. She's incredible at performing. So talented at singing and songwriting and talented at performing. And, you know, before you tell me those domains are related, no, they're not. Like, there's a lot of people who are really good at songwriting and they suck at performing, and vice versa. You have people who are great at performing, but they suck at songwriting. It takes a special person to be good at both things at the same time, and she is. But it doesn't stop there, because she is also incredibly disciplined and hardworking. Like I said, she has been touring the entire world for 2 years, doing 4-hour-long shows every night. I mean, that requires a level of stamina and commitment that most people only dream of. So we have creative at songwriting, great performer, and incredibly disciplined and hardworking. And the last piece of the puzzle, and this is the only one that I don't know if it's hers or somebody in her team, She is so business savvy. She's so business savvy. She's so good at making sure that her music is as profitable as possible, and the profit goes into her pocket, that you just have to marvel at everything she does. Because listen to this. I'm going to give you an example of her business acumen. She released a bunch of albums with a label, and then they had a fallout. And the label, I don't know if it was kind of to get back at her or if it was just a business decision. Maybe some Taylor Swift fan knows more details about the story. But the fact is that a guy that she had beef with ended up buying the rights to all of her songs. Like, the work of her entire life was sold to a man that she despised. And the label didn't even give her the chance to bid herself on her own songs. They just sold her songs to this man without even asking her. And that was a dick move. Imagine that. Put yourself in her shoes. Like, you've been working your entire life. You have like 5 albums or something, and your dick label sells your whole life's work to someone else that you don't even like. Now, every time somebody plays a song of yours, like a movie, TV show, whatever, shopping mall, the royalties are going to go to this guy that you hate. It's enough to make you want to cry. Like, if it was me, I would rage quit the next day. I would be like, I'm done with this. I'm through. Please, I'm just going to step away. Screw you, music industry. I'm gone. I'm out of here. But not Taylor Swift. You know what she did? And you have to admire this. This woman took it upon herself to alter each and every single song that she didn't have the rights to, re-record them, and re-release them as a new album with the same title but a different cover and the words Taylor's version next to the title. You see what she did? She changed the songs enough that they wouldn't be considered the same songs, so that she could keep the rights, the copyrights for herself, and she re-released the songs. But you know what's the most interesting part of this is, if she had done this, and this, imagine the work this takes. If she had done this and had done nothing else about this, then these songs wouldn't have become more popular than the other ones. So when people wanted to use one of her songs for a movie or a TV show, they would have gone, to the old version, to the original version of the songs. So what did she do? She asked her fans, who are completely insane and demented, to help her make the new version of these albums #1. So she would release one Taylor version album, ask her fans to go play her songs, and she would manage to make the new old album platinum again. So this is a woman who has like 2 platinum albums for the same album 5 times. You gotta be in awe of this woman. And you know what the worst part is? I listened to both versions, like the original version and Taylor's version of the songs, and I realized that her versions are so much better. So she's even improving her old songs. It's incredible. I applaud her. I think she is a beast, and I think she's someone very interesting that one needs to keep on their radar. So now you understand why I'm interested in Taylor Swift. And now I'm going to tell you the Scooby-Doo moment. I wanted to go to her show. She was doing this crazy tour, and in my city, she was going to be giving her concert at the stadium, and I wanted to go. So I decided, like 2 months before the show, that I wanted to buy tickets. You see, I am someone that when I want to, I can plan things very much in advance. I am early to everything. So I said 2 months in advance, for sure I'm going to score the best tickets. Oh boy. Oh boy, things have changed. I didn't know this, but things have completely changed since when I was a teenager. You see, when I was a teenager, you wanted to go to a concert, you paid $75 for the best ticket, and maybe you bought it like 2 days in advance. If the band was very popular, maybe a week in advance. And you were set. It was great. You went to your concert, you enjoyed your concert, you left. Everybody was happy. Well, friends, let me just say things have took a turn for the worse. Things are not like this anymore. You know when Taylor Swift tickets were sold out in my city? 1 year before the concert. 1 year. 1 year before the concert. People had already bought the tickets. All of them. All of the tickets were gone. There was not a single ticket left. I was aghast. I was perplexed, aghast. I couldn't believe it. So I asked friends that do go to concerts, like, hey, clue me in. I get this chick is famous, very famous. She's like the Michael Jackson of our generation. But what the hell is going on? And you know what they told me? They introduced me to the concept of the scalper. And I already knew, like, there were scalpers for, like, clothing and stuff. But I didn't know that this extended to concerts. So if you don't know, if you're a boomer like me, I'm a boomer. If you're a boomer, or if you're someone who has not gone to a concert in a very long time, let me explain this to you, okay? These are resellers. It's the new name for resellers. They're calling them scalpers now. So you buy tickets online. You no longer go somewhere to buy the tickets. When I was a teenager, you went to music stores, like where you bought CDs. That's where you went, and you bought your tickets in person. Now it doesn't work like that. Now you have to buy them online. And the artist announces the concert, and they open up the ticket sales, and all of the fans try to get a ticket, but not many manage to get it because scalpers get there first and scoop them all up. So a fraction of the tickets go to the fans, the very lucky fans, like, I don't know, 10% of the tickets. The other 90% of the tickets go to scalpers. And don't think that a scalper is some dude in his basement with like 2 computers and a phone trying to refresh the page on his own. No. Things are very professionalized now. Very professionalized. They buy this thing called ticket bots. And the ticket bot is designed to be able to handle multiple instances of like the payment process. So you use this bot and it'll buy for you like 100 tickets every second or something insane like that. And then you have the tickets. And I think they use like proxies and multiple computers and phone setups. It's very professional, very professional. They spend a lot of money because they get a lot of money. So yeah. And then the scalpers will go to other websites and sell these tickets for 5 times their price. So in the case of Taylor Swift, my friend said, well, if you're lucky, you may be able to find a resale ticket for $2,000. $2,000? What? $2,000? That's if you're lucky, they said. It could be $3,000, maybe $4,000. I was like, what? What? I don't want to buy a car. I just wanted to see this woman dancing. What the hell? And they explained to me that, well, turns out young people don't have any money, but they also do have a lot of money. See, there's a paradox. Because people in their 20s, in their late teenage years or early 20s or mid 20s, in the past, they would have had a family, you know? So they would have been earning a lot of money, but they would also be spending it all feeding their children and like putting a roof over their heads. But now, nobody earns money. Everybody's making like minimum wage at a barista job. They're stuck in forever. But because they don't have money, they don't have children, a mortgage, they don't have nothing. Like they're co-living with 2 friends and a cat. So they have a lot of pocket money, you see? When you cannot buy anything meaningful, instead of saving this money, you just spend it. So they spend it, and they spend it on Taylor Swift tickets. And the scalpers know this. They know their demographic. They know who they're selling tickets to. So these 20-something baristas save for an entire year to buy Taylor Swift tickets for $3,000 from a scalper, and then they spend more money in getting like a custom-made rhinestone bodice, and like they get a makeup artist to do their makeup, and they get like a wig, and they show up to this concert. dressed to the nines with a $2,000 ticket to watch Taylor Swift. I think we're sick. I think humanity is sick, and somebody needs to do something about this. Whew. So anyway, all right, so this is the scalper business. Now I've explained to you. But here's the Scooby-Doo moment. So I'm learning all of this, and I'm trying to see, like, is there a law to prevent this? Turns out there is, but nobody can do anything about it. And I come across an interview. Taylor Swift said she had actually made the price of her tickets super affordable for her fans. You see, she was so good in her heart that she wanted her fans to be able to afford her tickets. She didn't want a single fan to be left out of the Taylor Swift experience. And so she made the tickets ridiculously cheap, like $130 a pop. And so the author of the article explained, this is why scalpers found it so irresistible, because the margin was so large. She was selling her tickets super cheap, and people were expected to pay so much, and that's very juicy for the scalpers. So they went cuckoo buying all of the tickets. But I lived in a communist regime. I know about deception. When I see deception, I can smell it like a hound from like a million miles away. And my friends, this is deception. This has all the hallmarks of deception. Why? Well, think about it. You made a fucking custom-made stage. You're going to be standing for 4 hours. You're someone who, instead of losing the royalties for your past albums and focusing on making new ones so you can make money, you are such a penny pincher that you decided to re-record every single song you have ever released with slight variations so you could claim the royalties for all of those songs. You're going to tell me they're going to make their tickets $130 when they know their fandom is willing to pay thousands? No. There's something fishy going on, and I was determined to get to the bottom of that. So I decided I was going to investigate, why are these people allowing the scalpers to scalp their loyal fans? If you care so much about them, why allow this to happen? Why don't you implement some sort of ID tracking of the ticket so that, okay, you can enter the venue with a ticket if you can prove that you're the same person who bought it? I don't know, there's ways to do this, but she wasn't doing them. Why? You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because the reason she can do this is she's forced to work with Ticketmaster, okay? Most artists are forced to do their shows through Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster is the website that sells these tickets to people. And you could open taylorswift.com/tickets and sell your own tickets to your own show, of course, but you can't really. Why? It's not because your record label is forcing you to work with Ticketmaster. It's because venues have exclusivity agreements with Ticketmaster. And if you want to play in a specific venue and they have this exclusivity contract with Ticketmaster, you cannot do it unless you sell your tickets through Ticketmaster. So take someone like Taylor Swift. She's going to go to a city. She's a huge celebrity. Everybody wants to go to her concert. She's going to fill up the biggest stadium in every city, manifold, She's going to have like 5 nights in some cities because there's so many people wanting to go that the stadium is not enough. So there's one venue she can play in every city, and that's the stadium. And if the stadium is in an exclusivity contract with Ticketmaster, she has no option but to sell her tickets through Ticketmaster. And what does this mean? What does this mean that she has to sell her tickets through this website? Well, they have a bunch of clauses. Number 1, they obviously take a very big cut of your earnings. Number 2, they supposedly fix the prices themselves, or they have like a tool that calculates prices according to demand, like, I don't know, Airbnb or like flight tickets. And in the case of Taylor, I assume that she was able to negotiate with Ticketmaster, being that she's actually Taylor Swift, to get the tickets to be at cheaper price. But she was still forced and obligated to give them a big cut of the earnings. And here's what I think she did, or that's what I think she did, because I can put myself in the mindset of somebody with like no scruples and a lot of like chutzpah. This is what she did. She made the tickets super cheap, like the cheapest she could. Not because she wanted to allow all of her fans to go see her. There's not enough seats for all her fans to see her. They're not going to be able to fit into the stadium anyway. No, she did this because she had to work through Ticketmaster, but she wanted to give them as little a cut of her earnings as she possibly could. So she sold the tickets super cheap, and then some scalpers bought all of the tickets almost instantly and resold them on other websites. Do you see what I'm getting at? It would have been extremely easy for Taylor Swift to hire someone to scalp the tickets on her behalf, and then she could sell the tickets at any price point that she wanted to her fans, without sounding like she was trying to squeeze them, because it was not her, it was the scalpers, and without failing the agreement with Ticketmaster and the stadiums. So I think what we saw was a mix of some fans got to buy their tickets through Ticketmaster, small portion. Another portion were scooped up by actual scalpers. But the vast majority of the tickets were probably scooped up by Taylor Swift herself. And I'm not saying that this is what happened. This is just speculation of mine. This is a hypothesis. But I think it's very plausible that this is what happened. You see? Doing this allows you to set the price that you actually really, really want without having a reputational hit. If Taylor Swift made her tickets $2,000 a pop, her fans were going to be like, screw you, bitch. Guess what? Now I'm going to listen to Sabrina Carpenter. So she looks very good when she says, I want all my fans to be able to watch me, so I'm going to make my tickets $130 just for you. And then she is also not failing Ticketmaster or the stadiums, because it's not her, it's just bad actors. Can you believe the scalpers? Oh, it's terrible. And at the same time, she gets incredible press for her show, because everybody's talking about how insanely costly it is to attend to the shows. So it's like three birds with one stone. So yeah, that's my hypothesis. That's what I think happened. And you want to know why I think that's what happened? Well, in Venezuela, because I lived in Venezuela under Chavez, and I left that hellhole like 30 years ago, but I remember the lessons that I learned there very well. Chavez wanted, he had the opposition, which was basically everybody with a brain. And the opposition would go out and do, protest all the time against the regime. And at one point, he was very scared of these protests. And so he wanted to put some fear in the bones of the people without the international community calling him a dictator. He was a dictator, but it's better to keep like plausible deniability facade. So yeah, what did he do? Well, he hired a bunch of people, like a bunch of low-life thugs from the worst favelas, and he created this group called La Piedrita, the Little Stone. The Little Stone were a bunch of thugs that Chavez paid, and they would go and they would scare the opposition. They killed people from the opposition in these protests. And then Chavez would go and give, a speech and say, we condemn these actions by the Little Stone. We're going to prosecute. We're going to find them because they cannot be. You see? They were doing what Chavez wanted to do without him risking face. He just pretended to be trying to catch them. And then if he did catch one of them, they would go into prison on one door and they would leave through the back door like 5 minutes later. That's how he handled dissent. And to me, this is like basically the same thing. You want to sell your tickets you don't want to sell your tickets through Ticketmaster, and you want to sell them expensive, but you don't want to look like a bitch. So you get the little stone. You get scalpers to do it for you. You see? Scalpers. TM. Scalpers TM. Anyway, that's my story tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I still really like Taylor Swift, by the way. I think this is a testament to her business acumen, and she may lack scruples, but I like her music anyway. So I'm going to be listening to this album in like 5 hours, and we'll see if we like it. I'll see you soon.